Welcome back to another Football Mundial, where we bring you the weird, the wonderful and the woeful stories from across the globe.
Yes, and today you're in for an absolute stonker because we have beef from Besiktas, aggro from the Allianz and redemption in Iraq. Let's go. We begin in Bavaria, where Carlo Ancelotti was sent packing from last week.
Yes, following a disastrous pre-season and an even worse start to the Bundesliga campaign, the Italian was given his marching orders from Bayern Munich main man Uli Hoeneß. But since the sacking, beans have been spilled on why Ancelotti fell out of favour at the Allianz.
Yes, and no one has stuck the knife in more than Arjen Robben. The legendary winger claimed on the weekend that training sessions at his son's youth team were better than Ancelotti's. What a way to bring a three-time Champions League winner crashing back down to earth.
So excited about it, Michael Christ. It's also emerged that Xabi Alonso and Philipp Lahm had complained about the Italians' methods last season, and some reports have even suggested that Bayern players organised secret training sessions behind the manager's back.
Yes, evidently giving up smoking on the premises wasn't enough for Ancelotti to win over the dressing room. Some people are just so hard to please, aren't they?
Yes. Now, here in England, we're pretty used to teams getting booed by their own supporters, but a group of ultras in Poland took things to a new level on the weekend, Michael.
Yes, following Legia Warsaw's defeat to rivals Lech Poznan in the Ekstraklasa, which left the champions in 8th place with 5 defeats already, a group of so-called fans, or the more common term is thugs, I believe, humiliated their players.
But this went far further than dissing their mums. According to reports, Staruk, the leader of the ultra group, broke onto the team coach and demanded the players step outside. They followed him, expecting to face some harsh criticism, but instead took hits to the back of the head and slaps to the face from 50 of their own fans. What a bloody disgrace.
What a bloody disgrace indeed, Zach. They were then left with the warning, if you play the same way in the next match, we'll come again. Ooh, the Warsaw squad went home looking as ghostly as Joe Tomlinson on an October evening, understandably traumatised by the events. Let's hope the bastards get what's coming to them.
Revenge.
We head over to Spain now, or should we say Catalonia, as Barcelona ran out 3-0 winners against Las Palmas to go 5 points clear at the top of La Liga. But despite the result, Gerard Piqué was not in a jovial mood after the match.
No, he certainly wasn't. Emotional and teary-eyed, the Blaugrana centre-back was clearly affected by the events in Barcelona over the weekend.
Yes, and it's not hard to see why. 800 people were injured after police raided polling stations and attacked voters as the region went ahead with an independence referendum deemed illegal by the Spanish government.
In response to the turmoil, the club requested to postpone their fixture at the Camp Nou, but when this was refused by the authorities, they played the match behind closed doors in protest.
Yes, and when he spoke to reporters after the game, Piqué said he would retire from the Spanish national team if he was considered a problem by any coaches or officials for supporting Catalan independence.
Seguir viendo la sección porque de verdad creo que hay muchísima gente en España que está en total desaprobación con estos actos que han sucedido hoy en Cataluña. Cree que soy un problema o que molesto, no tengo ningún problema en dar un paso al lado y dejar la selección antes del 2018.
But it wasn't just Catalan voters and Barca players who were left angry on Sunday. One family who flew 10,000 miles from Australia to see the match were left red in the face after being turned away at the door.
Yes, and not only that, but they booked their tickets 3 months ago, and who did they want to see especially? Messi?
No.
Suarez?
No.
No, it was Neymar. So they were left looking like absolute mugs on 2 counts. Unlucky. Unlucky!
Now for some positive news from an unlikely place. Iraq, a country which over the past 4 years has been ravaged by civil war and the rise of Islamic State.
But this week reports emerged that football has returned to Mosul after the city was liberated from the control of ISIS over the summer.
The terrorist group claimed Mosul as their capital in 2014, and one of the first things they did was to outlaw football, with some news sources even suggesting that children had been executed for playing it in the street.
Horrible, horrible stuff. But with the city now making efforts to rebuild itself, a first football match in over 3 years was played in August, with Mosul FC taking on Nineveh Police. The game was played at the city's university ground due to large parts of the club's stadium being destroyed in military operations, and the city still needs at least £1 billion to rebuild its basic infrastructure.
But nevertheless, this is a small but significant step for sport in the region, and for that, Mosul, we salute you.
Over the border to Turkey now, where there was some serious unrest in the Besiktas dressing room on the weekend.
Yes, this came after the Turkish champions drew with 9th place side Trabzonspor at Vodafone Park, which means they are now 5 points off of first place Galatasaray. Besiktas were 2-1 up until the 80th minute when Wigan Athletic legend Hugo Rodallega leapt to head the visitors' level, leaving the Black Eagles with just 1 point from their last 2 matches.
Not good at all. Reports soon emerged that Anderson Talisca, who was wanted by Man United in the summer, let his anger get the better of him after the match and took it out on teammate Caner Erkin.
Yes, according to Turkish TV, the midfielder attacked Erkin with a flying kick after the left-back swore at him in the dressing room. The pair had to be separated by other members of the squad.
The club have since denied that anything happened, but we're not totally convinced. Besiktas fans, if you know anything, please let us know in the comments below.
So that was Football Mundial. We hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. And if we've missed out on any stories you thought should have been in the episode, tweet them to me at Zach Jellab or Michael
at Mike McCubb, I
there
think.
you go. They'll be down there below. Anyway, but Michael, what should these lovely people at home do next?
Well, they should go to last weekend's Stat Wars, the champions between Joe and George, edited by the wonderful James Wayne behind the camera.
Great edit. It was a brilliant edit.
Lots of compliments coming in for that, so that is an absolute cracker. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.